Spa-Francorchamps in 7, Spielberg, Austria 8, 9 is Imola in Italy, round 10 is Japan, 11 United States, 12 Abu Dhabi, 13 Canada, 14 Bahrain, and we round the season off, ladies and gentlemen, with Singapore. So wow, what a season we've got coming up. Welcome in to Tornado Kane in the chat. First time him racing with us tonight in the realistic tier. Dave's here in the chat as well, and Jebby says good evening. Good evening, mate. Welcome in. It's good to see you back for the brand new season. 16 minutes of qualifying left, and of course we're going to be following the same format as normal. It is short qualifying, and then we have the 50% race, everybody, which comes up after this. And a new driver joining us tonight as well. Well, not new, but another driver joining us of Ready Player F1, who I've not seen for a long while. That'll make 15 drivers here today. There's been talks then, everybody, that Lee Dog is a fast driver. So we will we'll see about the rumours and see, you know, which way that goes, and we'll have a look. But for now, qualifying first of all, and this is one lap pace, race pace, qualifying pace, a big thing, big motto in my league. They are completely different things, and you see that demonstrated quite a lot most nights that I did commentate, actually. And here tonight the same rules will apply. The driver's heading down the straight then, with Chazza being the first man to try and set a time, the first driver on a lap, and we'll see what he's got in store for us today then, ladies and gentlemen, on the first lap of the brand new season in season 8. Chazza driving in the Mercedes car this season, and Luke's told me that he's tried to you know, space out the drivers, of course, running in the realistic cars here, so space them out, you know, depending on how good they are and their, you know, their skill. And Chazza looking quite nice in the first sector so far. Oh, my apologies, controller for some reason decided not to work then. But yes, so far Chazza doing decently well. We'll see what he can do. One exciting thing to look out for is that the Wall of Champions, sorry, the castle section, which of course catches a lot of drivers out. Is that going to catch anybody out today? I really do think so. I definitely think so. 15 people here tonight. I think that is bound to happen at least once then over the course of qualifying and the many laps to come of the Baku Street Circuit Grand Prix. But Chazza then is going to head and set the fastest middle sector, head down the back straight, massive long straight here in Baku, and he's going to fly down towards the line to set the first time of the afternoon. What can he do? We'll find out as he goes flying up towards the line. Here comes Chazza then for his first time of Season 8. The first time of Season 8 then for anybody. Chazza over the line. It's a 1:43.33. As now we've got an Aston Martin heading up towards the line of Tornado. No, it's not. It's his teammate. Arctic Ryan then over the line. 1:41. He sets the fastest time at this moment in time. Lovely, lovely stuff then to kickstart this afternoon off. And as we are, of course, back for the new season and we wait for some of the times to come in on the board, as you can see now, I will go through the brand new teams then, ladies and gentlemen, that we have here in the PGS Realistic for the Season 8. It is the very famous and credible team of Arctic Lightning. They are back again. Arctic Ryan and Dave the Scrub then, same team as always, many seasons in a row. They won the Constructors' Championship last season, as well as Dave the Scrub becoming the world champion, I believe, again. Last season, if I am right, I think he was. F1 judges then is Tiger B, and the judge, ladies and gentlemen, for your second team, Mark Gloves team is Ready Player F1 and Ali Cotta. Lee Dog and Papa Rim then in Raw Dog Racing. It's Salguero and Luke Bailey for Smoke F1 team. Sneaky Eel and Jay Pinto currently with the Sneaky JP Racing team. Tornado Kane and Flavor on the Storm Chasers team. Embol Kinezzo for Street Workers. Wolfie Blaze and Blinding Echo, the Bumblebee Bandits for them, which is good to see. And then Toby West and Hawkeye for Timpson F1, ladies and gentlemen. So that is your brand new teams of the season. And some very nice teams indeed. As we've got Lee Dog, the fastest man the margin is pretty big there, isn't it? 1:39.4, and already in qualifying, running away with it quite nicely at this minute in time. He's still got a long way to go, so it could still be taken away from him. But with a margin like that, it really isn't looking very likely. His banker lap massively quicker than Nedzo racing behind, who's currently second place. But apart from Lead Dog, everybody behind that are all very close on time, which is nice to see. With Nedzo, Ryan, Chazza, Jay Pinto, Papa Rim, Dave the Scrub, as Luke Bailey over the line with the 140.2 to kickstart his afternoon off with 11 minutes of qualifying to go. If you're in either of the chats, good afternoon to you. We've got 7 people in the Jack Cross League comms tonight, which is nice to see, and I think we've got a few in the PGS as well. We have got a few, which is very good. So hopefully this league getting a bit of exposure that it deserves tonight. And if you're here tonight and don't race in PGS esports, well, they do hold multiple tiers through the week. And if it's something you'd like to get involved with, put it in the chat and we will send a Discord link in so you can get involved with PGS esports, because it is a very nice league. It really is. And I am very much looking forward to this brand new season. Starting it off here today, of course, in Baku. Wolfie Plays messaged in the chat earlier on saying, Season 8, new Wolfie. Is that going to be true for him then? Down in 10 right now with a 1:42.2, and he is looking to be on another lap now, so this could be a faster time. We'll find out though as he heads all the way down towards the left-hander, which dips down, then you get millimeters away from the wall, and you just have to be very careful not to let the car run out a bit too wide there, as he is down by nearly a 1/10 of a second, unfortunately, on this go around. But still 10 minutes to go, and Wolfie Plays has got all of the time in the world then to give it another go for the Bumblebee Bandits this season, of course, with Blinding Echo, his teammate, who I don't think actually is here today. Is Blinding Echo here? Yes, Blinding Echo, Chazza, is here then in 4. Completely forgot then that Chazza and Blinding Echo are the same person. But there we go. The amount of races I've commentated on with him and I completely forgot. How bad is that? Anyway, Lead Dog is going to be heading round and down towards the line. I think this he's ready to just hang up hang up his boots and just say, that's it, I'm done for qualifying, because look at this, a 1:39.4. He is very much quicker than everybody else at the moment. As here he comes then, he will go into the pit lane as Lead Dog, driving this season for Raw Dog Racing, along with Papa Rim, who is down in 6th position right now and in the pit lane. His fastest time is 1:40.693. As Wolfie in the chat, that kick is on Stez. He's a quick driver. He is a very quick driver then, Lead Dog. The first I've seen of him today, but definitely a fast man out there on the grid, on the track today, and seeming like he's gonna, I don't even know, he's gonna run away with it, isn't he? I mean, it's going to be a pretty crazy margin, I think, for the race tonight. But we will find out when he gets closer to the time. You know, he can still make a mistake. People can still make mistakes, and anything can happen. Anything can happen. So we will find out. But Tornado Kane then, the man that's been in the chat with us in PGS and messaging quite frequently, he's down in P13 and heading down towards the line for his first time in the day. Then what will it be as he crosses the line here in Baku? It's a 1:40.2. Fair play for Tornado Kane. Decent time then in P4 at this moment in time for Storm Chasers, along with Flavor, his teammate, who has set a time of 1:42.5 down in 12. It's Tiger B. Safety cars come reeling back to the back. Yes, they can. We'll see if we get any safety cars today then, depending on the cleanliness of the racing, or it doesn't even depend on that really. Just, you know, if anyone makes a mistake, you've got to remember we're here at a street circuit today, so the probability of crashes is going to be a lot higher this afternoon, especially, you know, the likes of the Castle section, trying to get 15 cars through there. You know, I think we're going to get some sort of collision somewhere at some point. There's normally plenty on here. Yes, you're right. You're absolutely right here in Baku. You normally get a lot of safety cars here. But Nedzo Racing up by 0.3 of a second. Still not enough at the minute to take pole, but this is a lot faster. Jeez, Tiger B, that's crazy. 16 drivers start, only 5 finish. That's a crazy stat. Oh, Nezo millimeters away from the wall. How quick, how fast was that through there? Just about scraping it. Absolutely brilliant. The judge then joins the session, and that will give us 16 drivers joining us now. Then, as people, of course, joining during qualifying today. But Nezo millimeters away from the wall as we head round and down towards the line. He's up by half a second. You know what? This is really quick from Nezo Racing. It really is. He could be near Lee Dog's time. He very much could be near Lee Dog's time. I don't want to hype him up too much because he might be off the pace, but from what we've seen so far in this lap, he's looked quick. And with the extra dose of slipstream there from the Aston Martin on the track of Tornado Kane, here comes Nezo Racing over the line. Still P2, but he does improve by half a second, and he's only 2 tenths now, exactly 2 tenths behind Lee Dog. That was a decent lap from Nezo Racing. It really was, closing the gap to pole time. Really good stuff then from Nezo. It wasn't one of our races, it was a random league on Twitter. Yeah, I thought so, mate. I didn't think it was be here. I didn't think it would have been here anyway. But yeah, that's mental. 5 people finishing out of that many. Crazy stuff. Well, 16 drivers now here tonight, and the grid is just building and building. Quite nice attendance here tonight for the first round of the season. It really is, and hopefully we can continue this form through the rest of it. 15 rounds to go. A long season ahead of us, ladies and gentlemen. A very, very long season ahead of us. But it is what it is. We are very much looking forward to it, aren't we? And I cannot wait to see how this race shapes up today, because it really is just going to shape up the rest of the championship for the season, isn't it? And we'll find out where people are on pace. Qualifying, in my opinion, doesn't mean anything. I think the race is a lot more important. Of course it is. But race pace, like I mentioned, is a completely different thing. Some people thrive on race pace, some people do not, and that is what we're going to find out today. I should be back racing next Thursday as well. Good stuff, Tiger B. That'd be very good then. 17 drivers, of course, if you were here tonight. So very nice attendance. That is very good. And good job to Luke and everybody else involved in, getting the season running and started. And it's looking very good so far. But there's someone waiting up the inside there. Then I think that'll be Salguero, maybe. Maybe Wolfie Place. It was Wolfie Place then. As Nezo into the pit lane, we've got Jay Pinto flying down with the fuel lights on, so this will probably be into the pit lane for him then here today. He's currently P3 though, so a very strong time in qualifying so far. But Lee Dog and Nezo on a different planet right now, they really are. Luke's done a great job and a very quick turnaround, yes. Completely agree, mate, really do. Chaz Dan has invalidated this lap around in qualifying, so he'll have to go around again if he wants to try and improve on his banker lap, which is still the same lap, of course, that he set earlier on as his first time of the season that we watched. And now he's invalidated again, but he's going to go up towards the pit lane and get himself sorted out before coming out again, I believe. But people in the chat then, ladies and gentlemen, please put in your qualifying predictions. Who do you think is going to be on pole position today? In my opinion, I think it's quite an easy one. But, if Nezo comes out again and can improve, it is possible. The only thing that worries me is that was Lee Dog's time there. That was his banker lap. And, if he comes out again, I've got a big feeling he will be, even more than that. Two minutes 50 seconds to go then as drivers being wheeled into the pit lane. There's a few out there on the track. Dave the Scrub on his outlap then, the reigning world champion, multiple world champion here in PGS Esports, and he is back again to try and run it back. A very fast driver, and his race pace is very good. His race pace is very, very good. But with drivers like Lee Dog here this season, I think it's going to give Dave a chance to have a bit of a break, to be fair. I don't think he's going to be able to compete with Lee Dog's time, but you never know. Race pace might be different. But here we go then, ladies and gentlemen. Drivers on the track. Ready Player F1 is on there, not on a lap right now. Wolfie plays on non-ERS. I can't tell. I don't think he's on a lap right now. We'll go to Tornado Kane, who is on a flying lap, and he's fastest in the middle sector. Here he goes then, down the final straight, up towards the main straight, of course. Tornado Kane with a decent time in qualifying at the minute, but he's looking like he's got even more time. It was fastest middle sector for this man. Has he found any more time over the line here in qualifying from P5? Tornado Kane. Oh my! Provisional pole for Tornado Kane. 1:39 flat. Wow. Just wow, what a time from that man just there. Tornado Kane then for Storm Chasers this season. Currently sets the provisional pole time. That is quick. Very quick. Well done, mate. In the chat you are, of course. Well done. Very well done. Good qualifying time from Tornado Kane then, as all the drivers behind him on their outlaps and ready to try and contest that. That was an incredible lap from Tornado Kane. Really good stuff, mate. Really good stuff as he heads into the runoff and retires. As Lee Dog will be going on a lap in a minute. Everybody behind him following him, but we're going to go with Lee Dog, of course, because we know he's quick. We heard he was quick, and now we know he's quick, especially in qualifying so far with 1:39.4, which was the fastest time of today. But Tornado Kane smashed it out of the park then, ladies and gentlemen. Here comes Lee Dog then, down towards turn 1 and starting a lap. His final time of the day, it's looking like. With 20 seconds to go, it will be his final time of the day. Full battery then, hot lap mode activated, and Lee Dog is on his final lap of today for pole position, if possible. Has he got any more time in store for us today for Raw Dog Racing? We will have a look then. The first sector line coming up very soon. He's looking to be quick right now, looking very quick indeed then, managing his EOS quite nicely. He is up by half a second in the first sector. Lee Dog is absolutely flying here in qualifying, and in the first sector, finding half a second, that means he is going very fast. He's going to head into the castle section then. Millimeters away from the wall again, but he manages to miss them quite nicely, cutting the corner on the left end to get the best exit out. Rassam now retires from the session as we watch Lee Dog 187 for pole position today in his hopes and dreams, as he hopes to try and get that if possible. He was up by half a second in the first sector. Here's the second, ladies and gentlemen. In a moment's time he will cross that line. Will it be an improvement? Another half a second found for Lee Dog then in the middle sector. This man is absolutely rapid. Low fuel mode then for the kick Sauber, as Lee Dog running as light as a feather now. This is the fastest you'll ever get him in his prime then for the first round of the season here in PGS Esports Realistic Tier. Lee Dog over the line. Will it be enough for pole? He's found so much in the first two sectors. Wow, Lee Dog on pole position, ladies and gentlemen, provisionally a 1:38.964. He improves by 0.4 of a second, and that man sticks it on provisional pole. Nedzo Racing then towards the line with a bit of an improvement, but currently not looking like it's going to be pole position for him. Third place and second row of the grid. Decent stuff. Hawkeye then is the last driver to cross the line with a 1/10 improvement. Sorry, Salguero, but he will go into the pit lane, then that'll be it for him. Just wow, no words. Lee Dog 187, pole position then here in PGS Esports Realistic with 1:38.964. He snatches it away from Tornado Kane. Brilliant qualifying, ladies and gentlemen. Very well done. Yeah, Tornado Kane, of course, you retired in the runoff. I'm not entirely sure what they're going to do about that. I don't know if that's going to get sent to the steward's room tonight. But just for future reference, just make sure you retire in the pit lane instead, please, especially during the race as well. You know, if you're going to retire early, please retire in the pit lane. As it's normally standard rules in most racing leagues now. So here we go then, ladies and gentlemen. Lead dog on pole position by a tenth of a second from Tornado Kane. Second place, joining him on the front row of the grid. Second row then, Nedzo and Jay Pinto. Third row is Papa Rim and Chaz. And then it's Arctic Ryan, joined by Dave the Scrub in 8. Luke Bailey and Hawkeye occupy the fifth row of the grid. At the back of that one in 9 and 10. Rassam 11, Flavor 12, Ready Player F1 13, 14 is Wolfie Plays, 15 Salguero, and 16 is The Judge. As next up is the Grand Prix. Wolfie. In the chat. F my life. Somebody came. Will I get a pen? Sorry. Well, I'm not sure, mate, to be fair. Maybe we'll get sent to the steward's room. But, you know, all I'll say is just don't do it again. Because it's a standard... Don't worry about it, but it's a standard rule in most leagues now. To, of course, retire in the pit lane instead. Deck is in the chat. Hello, Deck. Where have you come from? Billy Muris went pole in WRC. No way. No way. Billy Muris on pole. Mate, I so wish I could be there on the Thursdays as well, but of course I've got to stay loyal to the PGS. PGS Esports has been my home for a while now. We've been here for a while. But yeah, it's a shame that we're on a different day, Deck, because I'd love to get involved with that as well. At least I'm there on the Tuesday. Right then, ladies and gentlemen, the race is coming up very soon. Here for the first round of the season. Yeah, quality just ended, got a 5-minute break, so I thought I'd come in here till it starts. I appreciate your dedication, Deck, I really do. Good to see you again, mate. Hopefully you can keep up with this and stick around as much as possible. I'm live every day of the week then, probably all the way up until Christmas and probably after the New Year as well. On Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and the Friday. And on Wednesdays I'm live twice at 6:30 and at 8:30. But at the minute, just the 8:30 one, as the 6:30 hasn't started. But we're here on the Thursday. Then tomorrow I'm starting my new league as well of the Late Breakers Club at 8:45 p.m. late on a Friday evening. So that'll be good fun. So if anybody wants to watch along, of course, on the Friday evening, you're more than welcome to. I'll try and keep the streak as long as I can. Good to see, Deck. I've got some big up-and-coming things coming for Jack Crosty Comms, so don't go anywhere, everybody, because we are gonna be improving and adding some new things very soon. 4 ads just interrupted you. Sorry about that, mate. Here we go then, ladies and gentlemen. The first round of the season here in PGS Esports Realistic, round 8. And it's lights out and away we go. Lead dog off the line then. Very well indeed, starting on pole, half a second gap then through the first corner, now 2/10. It's Tornado Kane already trying to catch up and intercept his lead. Jay Pinto comes in third place, then it's Chaz, Nedzo, Papa Rim, Arctic Ryan that come behind that. His position changes on your screen. Nedzo down 2 since the start, unfortunately. He's not had a good start here today. Papa Rim then is down 1 as well. And Shazza and Jay Pinto have had some very nice starts already today, getting up some places. Tornado Kane then to fight on lead dog at the very start of this race, trying around the outside line, bit of wheel banging going on then through the right-hander, but it's not enough to get ahead then of lead dog 187. Tornado Kane has to stay behind, not able to get ahead just yet in the early stages of this race. 25 laps ahead of us after this one, and here comes Tornado up the inside line to try and fight his way through past Lee. This is incredible stuff then, ladies and gentlemen, from the drivers already as they head through the castle section. Will they keep it clean? Everybody heading through quite nicely so far then. Nobody making many mistakes. Good to see everybody making it through cleanly. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Brilliant stuff then. Lead Dog leads still from Tornado all the way down into the left-hander as the first lap of this race is soon to end. I don't want to jinx anything, but you know what? This has been a very clean start to the race, especially here in Baku. Very well done to everybody. Luke Bailey and Dave the Scrub then swapping positions down in 8 and 9. They swap positions. Hawkeye now getting ahead as well. Dave drops down to P10 in this race. Wolfie plays, making a pass through past Flavor now. Wolfie's up 3 places since the start. He did say earlier, new season, new Wolfie. Maybe now he's just started to ignite that. Here we go then. It is Rassam on Wolfie Blaze as Tornado Kane goes for the lead of the race as well, everybody. Tornado Kane goes through. Rassam goes into 11 as Lee tries to fight back then up the inside line. Lee back into the lead of this race. Tornado Kane has to drop back, but we know his race pace is definitely better than the qualifying pace, and he's now on track to fighting Lee Dog. I was not expecting this. Everyone was saying he was going to run away with it, but that's not the case right now. The only thing I can think of, though, is Lee is on the hards and Tornado Kane is on the mediums, meaning he will have the advantage. Behind that, then, it's Chaz and J Pinto. J Pinto gets into P3. Chazza can't get ahead there enough to stay through. Here comes Chazza back again around the outside line, then fighting once more on the car up the inside of J Pinto. Wheel banging through there, but Chazza ensures he gets through, and now into the podium places here in Baku. Lap 2 of 26. Tornado Kane loses his rears then, everybody, and Lee Dog running away with it even more by 0.6 of a second through Castle. Tornado now losing his rears, losing time, and dropping back a little bit off the backside of Lee. Chaz in 3 then, J Pinto 4, Nedzo 5, 6 is Papa Rim, 7 is Arctic Ryan. As the drivers head all the way down. Oh, something happened at the back. Somebody's round. It's Rassam then, everybody, who's caused a bit of wing damage to himself there. As no safety car, which is great to see. No safety car for that, as Rassam does continue on. Gets the car moving again and isn't stationary for too long, which is good to see. As Tornado is half a second behind Lee Dog with a massive run down into turn 1, and he could find enough gap here then to get through. Is that what happened earlier on that we missed? Possibly it is, and now he is going to do it. This is definitely on for a move. Here comes Tornado Kane for the move on the race leader. Up the inside line then of Lee Dog. Will it be enough to get into the lead then of the Baku City Circuit Grand Prix? He is through. Will he be able to stay ahead? He will for now. Good stuff then from Tornado Kane. The man that couldn't take pole took second place and now managed to get ahead of Lee Dog, who now with the DRS heads up the inside line and flies through once again. Good stuff for him. Tornado can't do anything about that one. Chazza has got front row views to this one as Tornado's rears flying out on him just a little bit there, just trying to keep himself on the track. What a start to this race then, ladies and gentlemen. What a start it is. Oh, somebody hit the wall there, maybe. I just heard a bit of a thump. As Rassam then the first driver to make a pit stop in the pit lane after hitting the barrier, of course, with the damaged wing. Whoa, Rassam into the runoff. Not entirely sure what happened to him there. But back on the circuit as the racing continues. Up at the front, ready player F1 and Dave the Scrub. They swap positions then, heading through Castle. And Dave's rear is just not working out for him right now. They're really not. He's just trying to keep himself, you know, on the track. Oh, near the wall there for Dave the Scrub as he lets somebody through. What's going on here for Dave? Letting 2 drivers through there, Sakuara and to judge. Maybe he's about to end his race. He's not doing, you know, particularly well in his first round here today. Nedzo and J Pinto, an incredible battle down into turn 1. Yellow flag said the judge retires from the session. Was that man the main straight? I think it might have been, as safety cars deployed, everybody. Not entirely sure what happened there. Lee Dog stays ahead then. He was running away with it, and just as Tiger B was saying earlier, the safety car will reel him back into the pack. As Dave the Scrub retires from the session, then the judge is out as well. Dave is gone on the first round back to PGS Realistic on lap 4 of 26. So opting out of the race very early. Dave in the chat says, just can't be asked. Well, hopefully we see you back next week, mate, to do a bit better. But Dave the Scrub retires down on the first round of the season back to PGS as lead dog. Just slowing down there, maybe waiting for the pack to join up, not entirely sure. Making his way around. But let's have a look how the chat's looking right now. There's 7 people watching the Jack Crossley comms right now tonight. I think I see Garrison lurking around in there. If you're in there, mate, say hello. Didn't know if you're in there or not. I'm not entirely sure. But if you are, it's really good to see you. Tiger B, who can't be... I even speak. Dave in my Jack Crossley comms chat says he can't be asked. For tonight, he is retired from the session, unfortunately. But hopefully he can bounce back next week. On the safety car then, as we head down the main straight, the drivers still need to catch up with the safety car and then we can get racing again. But lap 5 of 26, still a long way to go. Pit stops coming in for Chazza, Arctic Ryan, Tornado Kane, Jay Pinto, Luke Bailey, Hawkeye, as Luke now picks up a 10-second time penalty for speeding in the pit lane, which is not at all what he wants to be getting. But, you know, better to get it early now than later on in the race. Lap 5 of 26, as we still wait for the drivers to go around the track with the safety car. Of course, this track is very long. That explains why we only have 26 laps here today. It takes a lot longer to get round the circuit, and the safety car will slow that down a lot. Normally, Baku is a long race because a lot of safety cars normally get introduced. That's probably what's going to happen tonight. First safety car, 5 laps in, as we lost the judge, and Dave the Scrub then retired on his own. Jeez, Dave, that sounds long, mate. It sounds very long. Really does. How come you're out in Florida anyway? Were you on a holiday or something? "20 laps remaining." These laps do tick by quite slow. Dave says, yeah, on holiday, but for a week. Oh, fair enough. I bet you really enjoyed that, mate. I would absolutely love to go there. The flight does sound awful, though. Nice start to the season, though, ladies and gentlemen. Lead Dog, you know, was having a few battles with a few drivers, but unfortunately then started to run away with it just a little bit. The safety car reeled him back, and now the drivers are going to get another go at taking him down. But we will find out which way this goes. tyres on your screen, then only one driver on the medium compound tyres. Everybody else is on the hards. Possibly going to the end on them. I'm not entirely sure how the strategy is going to go today. Still under safety car, then it won't be going in at the end of this lap as they head down the straight. How slow did the safety cars go in this game? Oh, sorry, not on this game, on this track. Oh my. Safety car, of course, still out, not going in the pit lane, so it will be next lap that he goes in. Unless he is. Oh, never mind. No, he's not. So yes, next lap, ladies and gentlemen, that we go racing again. So under the safety car, still a long lap here in back. You're under the safety car on the 7th lap of 26. Wow, these do drag. Safety cars around here do drag. Lap 7 now, of course, of 26. It will be lap 8 when we go racing, everybody. And it shouldn't be too long now, just through Castle and then round the loop and back again up the main straight. Then we will go racing. One good thing about this track and safety cars is the race leader. It is a very good track for the race leader to get a jump on the guys behind. Here we go then, ladies and gentlemen. Safety car in at the end of this lap. Let's get ready to go racing again, hopefully for the final time today. Lee Dog will be the man to lead them away. The safety car is already in the pit lane, and now he has all of this track in front of him to decide when he wants to go. He could leave it as late as the line if he wanted to, but we'll see when he goes, and this is exactly it. This is why I absolutely love this track for the safety car restarts. You just never know when the leader is going to go. And he still hasn't gone. He still hasn't gone. Look how long he's leaving it. Look how long he is leaving it. Lee Dog, still the man in front. When will he decide to go, ladies and gentlemen? From Nedso's view now, Lee Dog's still holding it. Tornado came with a 10-second penalty now as well. When will Lee Dog go? Look how long he's going now. He's gone. Nedso can't keep up. Lee Dog's already shot off 0.6 of a second. Oh my, this man. What an absolutely brilliant start from him there. Then Ready Player F1 getting ahead of Flavor through the first corner. Ready Player F1 into 5. Flavor then drops down to 6 as Chazza looking at this one right here. The Red Bull gives the Mercedes a shunt as Chazza nearly spins around. Gets back on the track now. He's got Jay Pinto to look at as he's going to go around the outside line if him possibly. Trying his absolute best here with the overspeed, but breaks later goes Chazza. Around the outside goes Jay Pinto, nearly into the wall there. Wow, what a start, ladies and gentlemen. Tornado Kane and Ready Player F1 having that race again. as Chaz gets ahead of Flavor. Ready player F1 in 8 as Jay Pinto behind that, and the drivers pushing themselves through the corners then as we head up into the castle section with the drivers and the Mercedes then nearly hitting the barrier there as he's got Flavor ahead of him as he tries to catch him, but at the minute not working out too well. Neto Racing is only 0.3 of a second behind Lee Dog. Here we go then. This is where it starts to get exciting. Can Nedzo do something about Lee Dog's reign today? Lap 8 of 26. And we look, hopefully, for a move down this straight with Nedzo on Lee Dog. With a 0.4 of a second gap then, ladies and gentlemen. The gap getting bigger and bigger as they head down the straight, and the battery being burned there from Lee Dog. As Chaz and Arctic Ryan swapping positions down the main straight then. Chaz is going to go back now on Tornado Kane, who goes into the pit lane, and they all pass him as he's in the pit lane now, dropping down the order. As he has to serve his 10-second time penalty too, but he might as well get it out of the way. 10-second time penalty for this man. Feels like an absolute eternity then, waiting for that 10-second penalty. The driver's already heading round then the first sector, nearly at the end of the first sector as he heads out of the pit lane now then. With a brand new wing on as well, this man is fully refreshed to go out there and race as much as he can. As Lee Dog's still ahead from Nedzo. Ooh, Jay Pinto there, getting close to Flavor, getting close to the wall, sorry. As here we go, lap 9 of 26. Will we get any overtakes between these two drivers here? We've got a massive long main straight coming up, and the gap 0.1 of a second. Jay Pinto hunting down Flavor on lap 9 at the moment, and he's looking like he's going to try and advance on this as soon as the chance comes up. Heading round then the left-hander. We head down the main straight then, ladies and gentlemen, for another go at it for Jay Pinto on XRL Flavor. With the speed on him then to slot his car up the inside line. They're going level pegging down the straight using his last bit of battery as Jay Pinto to get ahead of Flavor. Flavor's in the same position with battery as well as Jay Pinto is through. Luke Bailey and Ready Player F1 swapping positions. Here comes Hawkeye up the inside line, then sending his car through. Will that be enough for a move? It's looking likely the Mercedes hits the barrier there, ladies and gentlemen, heading through there. Oh, was ahead. Nedzo's through. Nedzo's through past Lee Dog. Lee Dog trying to fight back, but Nedzo made a move then past the P1 sitter on lap 10 of 26. 16 laps remaining, ladies and gents. Here we go then, ladies and gentlemen. Here is Chazza to gain on Nedzo. He hits the back of him there then. Nedzo nearly in the wall. He saves that one really well indeed as we head into the final few corners with the top 3 drivers all looking quite close. Lee has nearly broken the DRS though, as Nedzo trying to keep within. And Chazza just watching this unfold, trying to gain on the man in front of him. He's got 0.3 of a second of the gap. Maybe it's Chazza's turn now to try and hunt down the P1 sitter. We'll find out as the drivers head down the main straight then to give it a go once more. Nedzo gaining on Lee, but still not a move. Whoa, into the wall goes Nedzo. He spins the rears, everybody. Nedzo spins around. loses his front wing there, and that will be his race over then, down in P7 with no wing on that car on lap 11 of 26. He will be absolutely gutted about that one, surely, on lap 11. That man was doing so well. Now it's Chaz's turn, though, to try and hunt down P1. Here come the drivers then down the straight again to start lap 12. Lee Dog half a second ahead of Chazza, who is gaining then, making a bit of progress here. He was for a moment, now the gap's getting bigger. Lee is flying off then into the distance. He's going to break the second here then, down into turn 1. Wow, what some speed there from Lee. The drivers all head down the straight then, looking for a move again. Wolfie Plays currently running in P11 to try and break into the top 10 if possible. He's got a ready player F1 in front of him to do so. Wolfie is up 2 places since the race start, I believe, or maybe 3, and he is still on a roll, to be fair. P11. He's had a very nice race, to be fair. He really has, in my opinion. Wolfie getting ever closer there. The ready player F1, as you can see him getting just on the rear, on the gearbox there. Wolfie's rears do spin out a bit. We're going to go to the front again to see how they're getting on. Luke Bailey gets overtaken by Hawkeye, who then hits the barrier going into Castle. Luke gets an opportunity now to fight back if possible. Here we go. Here's a move then, ladies and gentlemen. Rassam on flavor. You can see him there visually fly past him, and he's through into 8th position. Ahead of that is Jay Pinto getting through past Paparim, I believe, there, as Jay Pinto made a very good move and cleared him quite well by a second. Lee Dog doing a very good job so far, still holding it by half a second, but you know what? Chazza's giving him a good run for his money here. He's keeping up well, he really is. Both of them on hard compound tyres, but Lee Dog is on the older ones by 4 laps today, which, you know, we'll find out if that's going to be a detriment to him. But Chazza's still keeping up with him fairly decently right now. Not ahead, but the gap's sticking between half a second and, you know, within that 1 second range, which is all that matters for him, really, to enable him to get DRS. Cannot believe next game we won't have DRS. The last ever game to have DRS. It's crazy, ladies and gentlemen, it really is. As Chazza now 0.8 of a second, this man in front is using his battery really, really well. And now, within, well, over a second down the main straight, I don't know how he's doing it. He is driving superbly well. As the drivers down the straight, all quite, you know, spaced out right now. Not a lot going on between them. Maybe Rassam on Nedzo at some point. That's 0.7 of a second gap still, though, which is going to have to come down a significant amount. There's Arctic Ryan in Salguero. Swapping positions. Arctic into P11 then. Here in PGS Realistic. As we have reached the halfway point. Last lap around, everybody. This is the second half of the race now. As Rassam on Nedzo is on. Nedzo still racing without a wing on that car. Look at how damaged it is. And Rassam just about keeping up with him to try and force his way through when possible. Lap 14 of 26, Rassam still ever closer, 0.3 of a second, ladies and gentlemen. As we head back down the straight for a possible move again. If you're in either of the chats, give us a quick race prediction then, everybody. Who do you think the top three is going to be? After today, only one time penalty today, which is mind-blowing. Really good stuff from the drivers. As Papa Rim and Luke Bailey both decide to pit. Rassam now finally with the overtake on Nedzo Racing down the straight. An easy move for him, which enables him to get into 5th position due to jumping 2 places with pit stops. Flavor now decides to go in the pit lane as well. And some of the pit stops are coming in now then, ladies and gentlemen, on the, well, just past half race distance point. New tyres getting on then. Wow, 15th lap of the first round of the season, ladies and gentlemen, which of course reflects the 15 rounds we have of the season as well. This new time around, of course, the same as we normally do. 15 rounds again. And we start here in Baku with Lee Dog, 1.7 seconds now ahead of Chazza, and definitely breaking that gap now. And since he's broke the DRS, I mean, Chazza's completely out of it. He really is. Lee Dog is just running away with this race now. Jay Pinto in 3rd, Hawkeye 4, Rassam 5, Nedzo 6, Arctic Ryan 7, 8 is Papa Rim then, with Tornado K 9, Salguero 10, Flavor 11, Wolfie Plays 12, Ready Player F1 13, and Luke Bailey at the back of the grid in 14 after making a pit stop onto the new hards. Here comes Luke Bailey then in the Racing Bull up the inside line of Ready Player F1. Will it be a move? It is going to be a move down the straight, and a nice one indeed. He's into P13 then on the new tyres ahead of the 2-lap-old medium runner. Arctic Ryan with a 6/10 gap then to the man in front. Pit stops coming in for Rassam now as he goes on to the new mediums possibly to the end. I'm not too sure what he's going to do here. It's the hards again, never mind. Battle's currently dying down, but we do have some drivers in the middle of the pack here as Rassam trying to get through past Salguero, and he is successful in his attempt then as they head round towards the castle section. And can Salguero fight back? It is not looking like it right now. But like I mentioned earlier, if you are in the chat, ladies and gentlemen, and you know, would like to put in a race prediction, do not hold back. Oh, positions down the straight then. Arctic Ryan into 5. What is going on here? Loads of moves going on. It's Papa Rim then into 4th position. Arctic Ryan into 3. Nezo in 5 then. Pit stop coming out of the pit lane. 4J Pinto. Hawkeye coming out of the pit lane 2. Is Rassam down the straight now as Salguero and Flavor change positions because one's in the pit lane. Out of the pit lane for Salguero then on the brand new mediums now. A lot of drivers opting for the mediums for new tyres for the final 8 laps of this race. So I'll go in the chat. Lee Dog hasn't pitted yet, has he? We're going to check actually. Good point. No, he hasn't. Lee Dog hasn't pitted, and that is a very good point. Very, very good point. Lee Dog's still not pitting. He's got drivers behind him that have pitted. The thing that worries me is for Lee Dog, he will go in the pit lane, put new tyres on, and most likely catch up still. Is the thing. As Chazza pits again. Lap 19 at 26. Lee Dog still carrying on 18 lap old hards. He's doing a very nice job at this right now, and I do really think when he pit stops today he will get back ahead as Papa Rim into 3 down the straight. Arctic Ryan can't do anything about that one as Nedzo in the pit lane now to finally get his new wing on. There's Chazza, yes, you're right. Chazza trying to get the undercut. Chazza's round. Speaking of him, trying to get the undercut, which the outlap then is critical, and he has spun around both end plates off that car, and this is the end then of Chazza's good run today. It really is. He hits the wall again. And now Lee Dog has a 20-second penalty, 20-second gap. I'm not entirely sure how much time he lose on a pit stop round here. If anybody knows, let me know. But I don't think 20 seconds is enough. But when will he pit? He's been on these tyres for a long, long time, and you know what? Fair play to him to be able to get them through the race this long and still be at such a pace on these kind of tyres, it is quite impressive. It really is. As Lee Dog heads down the straight there, not looking like he's going to head into the pit lane. No, he does. This is it then. Pit stop coming in for Lee Dog. Finally going on for the brand new mediums it will be to the end. Medium compound tyres for Lee Dog in the Kick Sauber this afternoon. Is it going to go his way then? It's Papa Rim heading down the straight, and he will not get, I don't know if he will get out ahead actually. This is going to be very fine and close. Here we go then, ladies and gentlemen. We'll find out who's going to be in front. Here comes Papa Rim round the inside. He's not ahead. Lee Dog does it. And that's it. Lee Dog is in and out in front of everybody. 3 seconds to spare. Only needed 17. And he's out of the pit lane with a fast stop, in and out, new tyres. And this is it now. Lee Dog is most likely going to go ahead and smash it out of the park. He really is in this race. Papa Rim in 2 then. Crazy work, crazy work from Lee Dog. Really fast man, with only 6 laps of the Grand Prix remaining. 6 laps to go, ladies and gentlemen, before the end. I think we all know which way it's going to go, but you know what? One thing I do want to say, well done to ladies and gentlemen, well done to everybody, sorry. Not a single time penalty across the grid, which is just superb. Really is. With not a single time penalty across the grid today. Which means we're not going to get any, you know, silly position changes because of penalties and stuff like that. His Lee Dog put a hard back on. He needed mediums on, didn't he? Lee Dog has put the hard back on. Oh, you're right. But if he was on the hards and they were... I can't think. He started on the hards, so he pits again. He does pit again. That might have been a mistake. That might have been a mistake. A big mistake then from Lee Dog, I think. I think that was a mistake as he enters the pit lane again for the mediums. No way. No way. Exits the pit lane on the brand new mediums. He's got 5 laps then to come through the order. Currently, as it stands, Jay Pinto wins the race from Papa Rim. It could be Papa Rim on a win as well, but Lee Dog is out of the pit lane in 7 and looking mean on the brand new medium compound tyres to get through the order then, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah, I agree with you, Tiger. I think that's what's happened, yeah, with 5 laps to go. But, you know, honestly, I think Lee Dog's got it in him. I really do. You know, there's a few seconds between all the drivers. Whoa, wow, just what a race it has been. Lee Dog now on his first move today, forcing Rassam nearly into the wall there, putting huge pressure on him on the 21st lap. It's Tiger B, he doesn't think he's going to win this race. 3rd place, he says at best. You know what, you might actually be right. I'm not entirely sure. 5 seconds to Hawkeye is actually pretty big. It really is. So, you know, we'll find out which way it's going to swing. But Lee Dog is quick, as we know. But he still has to make those overtakes once he gets there. The game has completely messed his race up, as he just can't get through past Rassam, blocking him then through these corners. Lee Dog's going to get pretty frustrated because of this. But I think it's inevitable that he's going to pass down the main straight now, then waiting for the moment to happen. And now he's going to go into 6th position. That is 1 place up then since when he pitted. And now he is ready to try and gain on the drivers in front to try and take a big chunk out of it, which I think he's going to find fairly easy, because them two in front of Arctic Ryan and Hawkeye are fighting away. Papa Rim and Chaz as well are fighting away too. Chaz, the man that hit the barrier earlier on, we wasn't expecting it to work for him. Working for him now as he sends it up the inside line. He sends the car off his outside nearly into the barrier. Good hard racing from the drivers though, as Chazza sends it up the inside. They both keep it fairly clean, and Chazza is into 2nd place. Jay Pinto now 2.3 seconds ahead. He could be the race winner here in Baku, here in PGS. It could happen. Lidog through past another driver of Hawkeye. He has done it. The gap is coming down with only a few laps to go. I'm telling you it's possible. I'm telling you it's possible. He can do it. He can absolutely do this. Here he comes then on Arctic Ryan. It's another move down the straight. Lidog is flying with only 3 laps to go. And he's now into P4, ladies and gentlemen. I honestly think he has got this in the bag. He is absolutely flying. He only needs a few seconds now for the man in front. If he can keep it tight and neat then on these final few laps, he stands a chance. 3 laps, but the laps around here are fairly long and a lot of time to gain. He can do this. 1.6 now, the gap 1.5. He's taking huge chunks out of the man in front, massive chunks. Lidog is absolutely rapid, and look at the time he's gaining already on Papa Rim. He's so fast on these brand new mediums and finding huge time at the very end of this race. Lidog is on for the win as he now goes around the outside of the Williams. Now he's into the podium already, P3. He's got 3.6 now to gain on Chazza. Can he do that in a lap? Can he do that in 2 laps? We'll find out. He's only got 3 more to do it for the whole job. Oh, honestly, I think he can do it. The gap is coming down so fast. 3.3, 3.2. Every corner it goes down a tenth and a half, 2 tenths. 3.1 now. The gap absolutely falling rapidly, nearly into the 2 seconds now. And I'm sure he's going to take a bit of time out of him down the main straight as well. Chazza doing everything he can to try and keep the gap, you know, as big as possible, but it is coming down 10th by 10th. Corner by corner, and he's now starting to see him in front of him. 2.9 seconds down the road. You can just see him exiting the right-hander there. If he does this, that is incredible stuff. As we go on to lap 24 with 2.6 seconds the gap now for Lidog, and he is just totally flying on this race with 2.4 seconds now, 2.3 nearly. Can he do it? Can he do it? Hawkeye and Arctic Ryan then swap positions in 5 and 6 at the back of the grid. And Lidog, after the game, messing him up there, and he went into the pit lane after getting a perfect strategy, going back onto the hard compound tyres. And of course, that is against the rules. He has to pit for a new compound of tyre at least once in the race, which he didn't fulfill. And now he had to pit again for the brand new mediums. He came out in P8, I believe, or P7, I think. And look at the positions he's gained already, and look at the gap he's gained on Chazza. It is totally doable here today, and both drivers he needs to overtake are in sight. 1.6 seconds now, the gap between 3 and 2 as we head up towards Castle section, and as soon as he's within a second, the DRS will reel him closer and closer and help him get the job done. Flying through the left-hander, and now look at how close they are. You can see them perfectly. Lidog getting up towards Chazza. Chazza's only 9 tenths behind Jay Pinto now, ladies and gentlemen, which means when Lidog gets through, or if he gets through, he will be right there on Jay Pinto. Hits the curb a bit too hard there, then sets him off track a little bit, lost a few tenths as he is pushing as hard as he ever has done before. Down the main straight then, ladies and gentlemen, for the start of the penultimate lap of the Grand Prix. He has 2 more goes around the track to overtake 2 drivers in front of him. Is it on the guards, or can Jay Pinto run away with it? I actually thought this was going to happen, but you know what? It's becoming a little bit more unlikely now, as the chances are just starting to run out. They are starting to run out. He will have 2 more goes down the main straight then to get past the drivers, and now he's 6 tenths behind Chazza with 2 laps to go. He's going to be pushing as hard as humanly possible. 4 tenths now, their gap. Look at this, absolutely phenomenal drive as Jay Pinto suddenly being able to run away with it just a little bit. Lidog now finally on the rear side of Chazza and looking like he's going to be able to make a move. His rear's not listening to him just there though. Oh, no way, man. No way. Half a second, the gap. Cannot believe how close this has got. Lidog is on the podium right now after, of course, like I said, the game messing him up. He's done well. David Scrubbin, the judge, to 2 drivers to retire today, leaving us with 14, and every driver without a single penalty. It has been a very, very clean race for the drivers today. And Lee has got this one chance now to overtake Chazza for second place down the straight. And then if he wants to win, he'll have to use that last chance to get through past Jay Pinto for a photo finish over the line. We will find out if that is the case. Have I just called it? I don't know. But he has to get through this first obstacle first, which is overtaking Chazza in front of him. And he has got half battery. He's easily going to make this move. Look at this then, everybody down towards turn one. Oh my, they're closing speed. He's into second place. And now this could be on the cards. The gap is 2 seconds to the man in front. Not entirely sure if that's doable. 1.9 is the gap now. Can he pick at it, everybody? The final lap of the race begins as Chazza trying to fight him back up the inside line. Lidog needs to stay ahead then if he wants this win. Chazza keeping him at bay. Jay Pinto is going to be able to run away with it now as Chazza slowing Lidog down on this lap around and denying him of P1. 2 seconds is the gap. Lidog needs to fly. Chazza fighting him back then up the inside line. An incredible move to try and retake second place today. Lee into the wall nearly. They squeeze each other. They both go into the barrier. Chazza and Lidog into the wall there, everybody. As Jay Pinto will run away with this. The gap is 6.6 seconds now on the final lap of the race. Lidog in second place. Chazza in third still. Hawkeye into 4 now as Papa Rim hits the wall in the same place as well. But Lidog and Chazza both involved in the same accident there. One of them probably picking up a bit of wing damage of course, the Mercedes there of Chazza, who can't really turn anyway after not having any end plates, so the aero's a bit damaged on that car. But there's one man in front then, ladies and gentlemen, who has made everybody quite proud today. It's been a sensational race from him, and he was just in the right place at the right time on the right day where Lee got messed up, and Jay Pinto, all his hard work has been able to pay off today for a race win, ladies and gentlemen, here in PGS Sports Realistic. He flies down the main straight here in Baku and up towards the line for the first round of the season in Season 8, ladies and gentlemen. Jay Pinto, after a sensational job and drive here in Baku, will cross the line to win the Azerbaijan Grand Prix. Jay Pinto wins. Lidog over the line, comes home for second place. And a sensational drive from everybody. Chazza takes the final spot on the podium. Hawkeye up towards the line then in 4. Rassam will get there in 5 in a few moments' time, ladies and gentlemen. No penalties to mess anybody's places up. This is raw positions. Rassam to 5. Papa Rim then will cross the line in 6. 7 will be Ryan. 8 will be Luke Bailey. 9, Nedzo Racing finally crossing the line. 10 will be Tornado Kane, which is such a shame for him. You know, he had a lot more in him today. But Tornado Kane down in 10, ladies and gentlemen, as he will get himself across the line. Wolfie plays as going together. Salguero will be 12. Ready Player F1 will be 13, and Flavor will be 14 as they come towards the line together. Hang on a minute, they're going to fight towards the line, into the wall there. Flavor goes around at the end of the race, everybody. Ready Player F1 carries on for the win. Wow, wow, wow. In the chat, a good stream, mate, says Tiger B. Thank you very much, mate. Glad you joined us for the entire thing. Good to hopefully see you next week, like you said. What a race, ladies and gentlemen. Thanks for joining me tonight. That was quite a fun one here in PGS. It really was. First round of the season, Jay Pinto wins it. Oh, good stuff. Good stuff then. Here we go then, ladies and gentlemen. Finishing results. Race winner, Jay Pinto. Fastest lap is Lidog. Driver of the day, Hawkeye. Most overtakes, Arctic Ryan. And cleanest driver is Rassam. There you go then. There you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Jay Pinto win, Lidog 2, Chazza 3, that is your podium. 4, Hawkeye, 5, Rassam, 6, Papa Rim, 7, Arctic Ryan, 8, Luke Bailey, 9, Nedzo, 10, Tornado Kane. Decent race from Wolfie plays them in 11, Salguero 12, 13, Ready Player F1, and Flavor at the back in 14. Thanks very much for joining me, everybody, for the first round back today in PGS Realistic. Have a very nice evening, and I will see you all next Thursday. See you later, and good night.